Ensuring the safety of you and your loved ones is probably at the top of your list when it comes to considering where to buy your next home. So today I'm going to talk about the safest cities in the Indy Metro area and go over a couple of the articles that highlight some crime statistics that you want to be aware of. If you're new here, I'm Cameron Geesaman, local Indy resident and realtor, and I love making videos like this to help people like you that are considering making a move to, from, or around the Indy Metro area. Of course, thanks for joining me today. Let's get started. So the topic of crime is something that honestly a lot of people don't really like to talk about because it is an uncomfortable topic. Almost everyone that I help move to the Indy area has the same question. What's the safest area to live around Indy? Well, I found a website that does a great job at breaking down crime statistics, and in this video, I'll be going over their findings. I'll put a link in the article in the description below as well. One important caveat that I want to mention about today's topic is when I use the terms dangerous or safe, it is only in relation to the data provided in the reports, which comes from the FBI crime data. So what I mean is that I am not personally deeming these areas dangerous or safe. I'm just giving you the information that I have found. In Safewise's article, it breaks down crime into two different categories: violent crime and property crime. Now, the definition of a violent crime is a crime in which an offender uses or threatens to use harmful force upon a victim. And the definition of a property crime is a crime to obtain money, property, or some other benefit, typically through the use of burglary, larceny, theft, arson, etc. So now that we know what these two types of crimes are, let's talk about how prevalent they are in Indiana. I'll start with the overall picture of crime in the state of Indiana as a whole. According to this article from Safewise, Indiana is one of only 17 states that experience decreases in both violent crime and property crime last year. Let that sink in for just a second. In fact, both violent crime and property crime rates in the Hoosier state are below the national average. Yay! Indiana residents' level of concern about safety and security is at about a 44%, which is lower than the national average of 50%. Nearly 61% of Hoosiers feel concerned about package theft, but only about 49 actually worry about violent crime, which makes sense because most Hoosiers were more likely to have experienced property crime than violent crime last year. Now, Safewise asked Hoosiers what crimes they are most concerned about, which is on the screen. Again, this is a level of concern, not actually how often those crimes actually happened. So what's interesting about this graphic is that most Hoosiers are more concerned about a crime happening than the national average, even though Indiana is below the national average in how much crime actually happens. So we have a lot of worriers here in the Hoosier state, not a surprise. Here's an interesting statistic. Compared to our regional neighbors, Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, and Wisconsin, Indiana saw the most significant decrease in violent crime year over year. That's a win. So despite the amount of worriers we have here in Indiana, crime is actually decreasing. Okay, so let's move on to the safest cities in Indiana. According to this graphic, you can see that out of the 10 safest cities in Indiana, 6 of them are in the Indy Metro area. Again, a win. Let's take a look at each city in the Indy area that made the list and the crime stats for each one. Coming in at number 2 is Zionsville. So Zionsville is on the northwest side of Indianapolis and has a population of about 30,000 people with a median income of about 142,000. Now, violent crime in Zionsville is 0.3 instances per 1,000 residents, and property crime sits at 3.6 per 1,000. Now, Zionsville also made Safewise's list of safest cities in America. I'll put a link to the article in the description below as well. Carmel comes in at number 4, a city on the north side of Indy. Now, Carmel has a much larger population of over 103,000 people and a median income of nearly 120,000. Now, violent crime in Carmel occurs at a rate of about 0.5 per 1,000 people, and property crime occurs at a rate of about 6.5 per 1,000. Now, here's another list that Carmel made. It came in at number 3 on Safewise's list of 50 safest, say that fast, 50 safest cities to raise a family. Again, there's a link in the article below. Fishers, my favorite, yes, is number 5 on the safest cities in Indiana list with a population of about 100,000 people and a median income of about 117,000. Now, Fishers is a city on the northeast side of Indianapolis and has a violent crime of 0.8 per 1,000 people and a property crime rate of about 6.7 per 1,000. In addition to Carmel, Fishers also made Safewise's list of 50 safest cities to raise a family as number 5 on that list. Brownsburg is a city on the west side of Indianapolis, and it made the list at number 6. It has a population of a much smaller, of about 30,000 people with a median income of about 93,000. Now, violent crime in Brownsburg happens at a rate of 0.7 per 1,000, and property crime is at about 8 per 1,000 residents. Westfield is number 7, so as you can see, a lot of these cities are on the north side of Indy, but it came in at number 7 on the list and has a population of about 50,000 and a median income of 106,000. Now, violent crimes happen at a rate of 0.8 per 1,000, so like Brownsburg, and a property crime is at about 7.5 per 1,000. The last Indy city to make the list is Greenfield, coming in at number 10. Now, Greenfield is on the east side of Indianapolis. We haven't talked a lot about it. We probably should do a video, but their population is at about 24,000 and has a median income of 63,000. The violent crime happens at a rate of 0.9 per 1,000, and the property crime is at a rate of 9.2 per 1,000 residents. So those are the 6 safest cities to live in the Indy Metro area, according to FBI crime statistics. That's another word that's hard to say, statistics. Did any of the cities that made the list surprise you? Was there a city that didn't make the list that you think honestly should have been on there? Let me know in the comments below. If you're looking to make a move to any of the cities I've talked about today, or maybe another city that didn't make the list, I would love to be your trusted resource and real estate agent. I've helped hundreds of people just like you that are moving to, from, and or around the Indy Metro area. And I know this area forwards, backwards, top to bottom, all the things. If you need help with selling or buying a home in the next, say, 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years, I'm here to help. If you like this video, please go ahead and click that like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss any of my upcoming videos about the Indy Metro area. If you're looking for another video to watch, click on the one that's right here, as I think you might like it as well. That's it for me today. Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.